This one small copper coin from 1938 could be hiding in your change jar right now, and it might be worth far more than you think. Uncover the untold secrets and surprising value of the 1938 wheat penny right here on Old Quarters Dollar Value Coins. The story of the 1938 wheat penny begins in a time of economic uncertainty, a time when America was slowly crawling out of the Great Depression. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt was leading the country through New Deal programs, and families across the United States were still struggling to make ends meet in this backdrop of hardship and hope. The United States Mint continued its operations, and among the many coins struck that year, one copper coin has captured the interest of collectors, historians, and treasure hunters alike. The 1938 wheat penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, is not just a monetary artifact. It is a piece of American legacy embedded in the daily lives of millions. At the time, the obverse or front of the coin features the profile of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, whose initials can be found at the base of Lincoln's shoulder. The reverse shows two wheat stalks bordering the words 1 cent and United States of America, hence the popular name wheat penny. The coin symbolizes a nation rooted in agriculture, growth, and determination. The composition of the 1938 wheat penny is primarily copper, 95%, with the remainder being tin and zinc. This specific alloy gives it its distinctive reddish-brown tone when freshly minted, but over time these pennies can darken due to oxidation, circulation, and environmental exposure. Now let us explore the mintage details. The Philadelphia Mint struck the highest number of 1938 wheat pennies, with a total of 156,835,000 coins. These bear no mint mark. Then the Denver Mint contributed a smaller batch of 20 million, and the San Francisco Mint added an even smaller number, around 15 million. This difference in production quantity is crucial because it affects the rarity and ultimately the value of each coin. The San Francisco Mint coins, for example, tend to be more desirable among collectors due to their lower availability and the presence of the S mint mark just below the date on the obverse side. Collectors often differentiate these coins not just by mint mark, but by condition or grade. Numismatics use a standardized grading system ranging from poor to mint state, with many levels in between, including good, very good, fine, very fine, extremely fine, about uncirculated, and then the mint state category that includes MS60 to MS70. A 1938 wheat penny found in circulated condition may only be worth a few cents to a few dollars. However, a coin in mint state condition, particularly those graded MS65 or higher, can fetch significant premiums on the collector market. Let us dive deeper into the production process at the Mint. Each 1938 wheat penny began as a blank copper disc known as a plancher, which was then fed into a coining press. The dies struck the design onto the plancher under enormous pressure, creating the raised images and lettering. If the dies were misaligned, or if the plancher had any flaws, the result was an error coin, and that brings us to a very intriguing part of the wheat penny story. Error coins are often highly prized by collectors because they are rare examples of mistakes that slipped through quality control. In the case of the 1938 wheat penny, there are several notable errors that have attracted attention. One such error is the doubled die, in which a coin appears to have duplicate images or lettering due to a misalignment during the die hubbing process. Another is the off-center strike, where the design is not properly aligned on the coin surface, making part of it blank. These errors can increase the coin value exponentially, depending on severity and visibility. In one famous auction, a 1938 wheat penny with a strong double die obverse sold for several $100s because of its clarity and rarity beyond its collectible appeal. The 1938 wheat penny is also a window into American society. During the late 30s, it was a time of transition. The New Deal was reshaping public infrastructure. Programs like Social Security were taking hold, and industries were beginning to pick up steam again. As war clouds gathered in Europe, America was still trying to focus inward, with coins like the wheat penny facilitating everyday transactions, from a loaf of bread to a daily newspaper to a bottle of milk. each of which could have been bought with just a few of these pennies at the time. And so these coins passed from hand to hand, generation to generation without fanfare. Yet each one tells a story of the American people, the workers, the children, the soldiers, the teachers, the farmers and families who kept these coins in jars, drawers, or pockets sometimes for years. Some coins were saved because they looked different. Others simply got lost behind furniture and only resurfaced decades later during estate cleanouts, garage sales, or in metal detector finds in fields and forests across America. Today, many 1938 wheat pennies still exist and are found in circulation, although less frequently. As they continue to age, collectors and coin dealers emphasize the importance of identifying high-grade examples, particularly those with full red luster. These are graded as red-brown or full red depending on how much original mint color remains. Red pennies are the most sought-after, brown ones being the most common, as oxidation dulls the original surface. The market for 1938. Wheat pennies fluctuates based on condition, demand, and rarity. For instance, a brown penny from 1938, Philadelphia, in average circulated condition may only fetch 15 to 20 cents, but in mint state red with a grade of MS66 or MS67, it can be valued at over $100 to $200, and if it is an S-mint or has a rare error, that figure could be much higher. Coin grading services like PCGs and NGC provide certification and encapsulation for these coins, ensuring authenticity and preserving value for investors and collectors. Serious collectors often look for certified examples with high eye appeal, strong strike, and minimal surface marks, as the coin community continues to grow, with new generations discovering coin collecting through social media auctions and educational videos. The legacy of coins like the 1938 wheat penny lives on it represents not only a moment in American minting history, but a deeper cultural connection. A reminder of our shared past, the small yet powerful legacy of Abraham Lincoln, and the enduring value of even the most humble coin. So when you hold a 1938 wheat penny in your hand, you are not just touching copper. You are touching a time capsule, a physical link to the era of hope, hardship, recovery, and determination that defines the American experience. And whether you are a beginner looking through spare change or a seasoned collector hunting for that perfect MS67 red 1938 S wheat penny, this little coin remains a big story in American history, and its value, both sentimental and monetary, continues to grow with every passing year.